A very good afternoon from a wet and windy Penrith, Cumbria. Very, very gusty winds crossing over the Pennines as went from the M1 across the 66 to Penrith, where I'm parked up at the truck stop. Quite a variety of weather actually today. Clear and cold this morning, where I started off at Ashford truck stop in Kent. Beautiful conditions all the way up through even Yorkshire, and I fueled up at the Coney Garth services at Leaving Bar or North Allerton, I think it's actually comes under, and started to notice it was kind of blustery. Didn't realise until I hit the 66 how windy it actually was, and the truck was really whipping around something awful. And while speaking to my parents up in Kirkintilloch, they were saying very, very windy conditions up there. So certainly the frontal system has once again packed a punch across parts of the northern half of the UK, and of course that front sinks south over the course of the rest of today, clearing the southeast this evening here. But first and foremost, I want to speak about the situation across Japan. Very, very significant winter cold and snow, and Sayaka, I think that you pronounce this woman's name, based in Tokyo, a weather person, and she always posts interesting tweets with regards to the weather in Japan, and talks about the all-time record high temperatures that were set back in the summer of last year, and now they're seeing record-breaking snowfall, some pretty remarkable snow amounts actually. I'm not even going to Kurimatsanu or whatever, I don't know how you pronounce that, but 82 inches of land snow, crazy stuff. Chitose or whatever, 47 inches, 43 in Abero. Okishi, 63 inches of land snow. Just what a winter they have had, and certainly it looks as if they've stolen our winter here in the UK and Europe, that's for sure. But some pretty remarkable snow amounts on the other side of the world at this moment in time. But I also want to speak about the North American weather, because I'll tell you what, we have got interesting adjustments in the upper pattern across North America that is going to have a downstream effect on the Atlantic jet and our weather across the western side of Europe. Massive contrast between a warm east coast, bitterly cold polar air coming down through the plains, down through the Rockies as well. Big fight in between that. But we're losing the tight gradient over the east coast of North America, and as we'll play through the loop here, you can see what happens. We do see more cold coming down, as you can see here, as we go from February into March here. But at this moment in time, what we're seeing is that warmth over the eastern seaboard of the United States, and therefore we're going to actually start to lose the strength of the jet stream as we go forward here. So the current situation at the moment is we still have an active jet stream. As you don't need to be a meteorologist to know that the jet stream is active. It's throwing areas of low pressure across the British Isles almost on a daily basis. It feels like the jet stream has not been just as strong in recent days as we've seen it, and with the adjustment in the upper air pattern across North America, as we go through the next week or so, we're going to start to see the jet stream becoming increasingly weak on our side of the Atlantic here. So you can still see here Friday the 25th of February here, strong enough jet stream crossing out over the Atlantic here. It does reach our side of the Atlantic, but you notice here that the track is shifting towards the north here. But as I continue to play through this loop, you notice that the jet stream kind of really weakens as it approaches Western Europe here. Yeah, we've got a kind of a surge northwards. We've got a bit of a surge and a split southwards. But the overall general idea is, and this is off the ensemble, the GFS ensemble, by the way, you can see here that the jet stream becomes weaker and weaker here as we go towards the first week of March. And that is significant because, of course, that is a big change to what we've had with a weakening jet stream, less extension across, out over the Atlantic towards Europe. we then allow the atmosphere to start building heights over our side of the Atlantic here, and you can see the kind of relatively weak jet stream, the lack of jet stream presence over the eastern portion of the North Atlantic, and in turn that then reflects, the greater possibility of having higher pressure building over the British Isles here. So this is the upcoming 5-day period, the 6 to 10. You can see here what I'm talking about. The modelling is seeing high pressure building, and even the 11 to 15 here, you can see high pressure in control of the UK here. So we're returning kind of somewhat back to January in terms of high pressure dominance over the western portion of Europe here. Of course, recent weeks has just been one system after the other. But this doesn't necessarily constitute warmer than normal, folks, and it's interesting how the modelling is seeing temperatures close, if not slightly below average, in terms of the UK here. So this is a upcoming 5-day period, colder than normal across Scotland, if you notice. Kind of slightly warmer, slightly cooler than normal across much of England, Wales, and the Republic of Ireland. Still very warm across Central and Eastern Europe, if you notice here. The 6 to 10 day, still close to average temperature-wise, and even the 11 to 15 day, you can see here that we're probably even marginally below average in terms of temperature here. Of course, high pressure sits overhead, especially a little bit further north where it's centered. You get these kind of inversions that take place. Cool days, frosty, foggy nights could be back in the picture once again here. And probably what is good, and of course, 4 weeks ago we were talking about the lack of rainfall, and now we're talking about flooding, of course, across many parts of the UK. We're returning to that drier than normal pattern with high pressure, of course, coming back into play again here. So the upcoming 7 days here, still wet across the northwest of the UK, wet across south central and southeastern Europe. Much of the mainland, of course, drier than normal, if you notice here. That isn't a particularly great sign as we press towards the summer season, of course. The 5 to 11 day and the 8 to 14 day here, all drier than normal, which is very interesting indeed here as we go forward. Looking at the current GFS chart here for today, we've got, of course, a frontal system sinking south, colder air coming in the backside. We see the snow level drop somewhat. We do have another few systems to contend with here, but the track, if you notice here, starts to kind of point much more towards Greenland and Iceland once again. Higher pressure over the Bay of Biscay kind of lifts northwards here over the course of the next week or so here. So we notice here the slight change in track of low pressure here, heading more towards the north as opposed to cutting west-east across the Atlantic here and bothering the UK. Just need to keep our eyes, I think, on some of these areas of low pressure, are fairly deep in nature and may have a bit of a sting in their tail with possible glancing blows, particularly so across more Ireland and Scotland, maybe the north of England, Wales. Always drier, brighter, sunnier, and calmer across the southeastern portion of the British Isles. But certainly there is reason to be optimistic that as we leave February, say hello to the first month of meteorological spring. It's hard to believe that we've already reached that near enough. We could see more calmer conditions making a return. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if I'm not back tomorrow, I'll be back again on Friday, hopefully with more. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.